May. We come before you May 13th, our morning message, traditionally known as Mother's Day. And I want to bring this particular message concerning the mothers, not only here but around the world. The duties performed by a mother must be respected by all. The duties performed by a mother must be respected by all. And we have to understand the importance of this particular thought. We know Brother Keith done a great job in reading our text, and Brother Winfrey leading us in the prayers of the righteous. The songs of the righteous, and Brother Robert, thank God for him leading us in prayer. And we'll have this time where we will be encouraged through our message in order to be uplifted on this particular day. Motherhood is looked down upon by many because of the menial tasks that's done daily and double duty. Many mothers work outside the home and have duties in the home, so they have a double portion of work to do, and especially in the realm of Hollywood, it is looked down upon in many cases. Some say, well, a lot of actresses, they embrace motherhood, but we're talking about to the extent to where the individual boasts of it, and in the sense of the importance of it, and look at it as an honorable post when all you do is be a mother and you have nothing outside. That's looked down upon. It's portrayed. Movies are made about it, and they joke, and then at the end they show how wonderful it is. But I want to show you about the scriptures. That's a bunch of nonsense. And I don't know about you, but there are many saints on the earth that are tired of nonsense, because nonsense does affect you. You may think you're Superman or Superwoman, but if you keep hearing negative, the Lord says evil communications corrupts good manners. And you look that up, it deals with your moral value. And yes, it does affect you. That's why the Lord said, remember Lot's wife. She looked back. She was a mother, but she looked back on the life that she was leaving. And the Lord said, don't. Now, whatever reason she looked back is irrelevant to us, but we know he said, don't look back. And Jesus tells us the same thing. I want to show you the value of it, 1 Timothy 2:9, because a lot of people want to downplay it. I don't want no children right now. Girl, I want to live like you can't live with children. Yeah, that's how it's portrayed in the church and out the church. And children, first I want to experience me, and then I'll embrace that era. Listen, you can still experience you and have children. The idea is that the Lord speaks of it being a blessed thing and not a burden thing. 1 Timothy 2:9, and this is from the mother's standpoint. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. It deals with appropriate, with shamefacedness. Shamefacedness deals with the thought of one being bashful, not looking a man eye to eye. Look the word up, brethren, and study it. That means I'm not coming to church to find no man. I'm coming to church for the man, Jesus. If I see somebody, I have my number, something. We're not fixing to do no full-fledged rap game and dating game when we come together. That's why that word is there. The Lord says, I give you all this other time. You can hunt any man down you want. You come here, you come for me. If you see a man, great, give him your number. Don't try to make this no dating game, And that's what it's about. Sobriety, to be sober, spiritually and physically. Not with braided hair. That means it's not shown that way. We know sobriety, if it's not there, you can't show righteousness, but you can't show righteousness by having a nice hairstyle. That's what that means. Because if women could not wear their hair nice, it will not be their glory. I don't know how brethren got stuck on this point, bothering women by braiding their hair. Anyway, gold. Gold has always been a symbol of glory and honor, but he's saying that's not what you need to show that you are a good, righteous woman. And this is talking about single women, women that have never had children, and married women, or divorced women, or pearls, which is a very valuable and hard to find thing are costly array, clothing that very costly. He says that's not how you show it in the sense of the display. He says, but which becometh women professing godliness. So if you display whatever you are wearing like a woman professing godliness, then you'll be okay. Because if you have gold dress on and all your breast out or backside out, well, that's not good. So that's what he's saying. You can't just have the clothing. It has to be professing women who are godly with good works. This makes a lot of women mad, but you know, God don't care, and guess what? The saints don't care either. We don't care what make people mad. And we need to get off that train of trying not to make somebody mad. That's why James said everybody can't be a teacher. James 3:1, he said, because you go offend. He said that's all we do is offend. We step on toes. Let's be like somebody trying to run through these aisles. That's all you do when you teach is step on toes. You cause people to be offended. Jesus said, does this offend you? John 6. He knew it was. So James said, don't be no teacher if you can't have that, because they're not going to like you. The majority is not. That's what he said. I don't know how sweet you say it or how you present yourself. And if that isn't for you, then don't teach. Teach privately. But when you stand before, you're going to have trouble. And even if you teach privately, he's saying if you proclaim, you're going to have trouble. And Jesus said, you're not going to be liked among those that know you. No, I'm not fixing to argue with Jesus. I hope you're not either. But he wouldn't have said that if it wasn't true. So that's where we're at. It has nothing to do with your lifestyle or where you've been or what you used to do. He says you will not be respected among those that are your kinsmen, those that are your countrymen, and that's what he's talking about. So he says here that, but let the women learn in silence without subjection. This is how they display in the church. They're not to rise up, be leaders. They're not to rise up and be teachers in the kingdom of God to the general public assembly, hold positions and posts of leadership, to be silent when we gather. There's a time for them to speak. Even when you use the word ask their husband at home, those two words deal with man and location. That's what they looked them up. Man, that's the man, in a location that is proper, a space. That's what the word means, space. It does not mean just your husband. That's why we got to look words up, brethren. It does not mean just your husband. The word can be put there because she can ask her husband. It's not for married women only. That's not the translator's fault. He's got to put some kind of word there. Any word he puts there can be switched out with another word that's within the meaning if the context is there. So we don't need to be beating up the translator. He didn't do anything wrong either. And so therefore we look back again. He says here, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but be in silence. That's the idea. So now we got the full scope. Not that she's stupid, not that she's going to start crying. No, it has to do with I put the man there and he's going to stay. Eve showed leadership, decision making. She definitely wasn't stupid. But God said, I picked you, Adam, so you're going to be working, sweat of your brow, and your desire be to your husband. And I'm going to share something with those who may question motherhood. If you're married and you're a mother, your desires to your husband. Now you try to function in life and not do that. Let's see if you die happy. I don't think we understand that's a commandment. Your desire to your husband. If you're not going to develop like Eve had developed to, okay, I got to try to help this guy and not destroy him like I just like to did by leading him into error, then it's going to be a problem with me at the judgment. That's what the scriptures teach. Desires of your husband. Now, you got to understand that. Not to a man, your man. Okay, so now, it says here, verse 13, forgive me. For Adam was first formed in Eve. So this is God's order. He's not changing it. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So she's deceived. Adam is punished for sin because he does something he obviously knows we shouldn't be doing this. Because God says you listen to your wife. I know what I'm doing. You listen to your wife. And that's the idea. So not that it's wrong to listen to your wife. It's the idea is not in sin. Now listen to your husband. In sin, notwithstanding she shall be, watch this. This is where we got to understand how motherhood must be respected. Saved in childbearing. You can play with that all day. That's one thing I love to do. Once the Lord taught me, man, don't play with these words and the meanings. You'll go to heaven. Saved. That's from hell. In childbearing. Now, what you want to deal with is the word childbearing, because Every woman cannot have a baby. And we all understand. But we're talking about motherhood. Now, I want y'all to stick with the lesson, and we're going to be done. Motherhood is what we're dealing with, and that is to be able to perform a duty as a mother. That does not mean you may have children, but it is to form a like to someone where you are performing the duties associated with motherhood. And so this is where we're dealing with saved in childbearing. Now let's pull this word up and we'll be through with this. 5402, G 5402. Childbirth, that's one meaning. Parentage, that is by implication, maternity, the performing of maternal duties. Now that's why you get every woman in. Now that's why I laugh when people say, I don't have to be a mother to show I'm a woman, but they're not understanding what God says. You have to perform maternal duties, things associated with mothers. For someone, you're going to have to do it. Because God is saying, I'm going to test you for what I made you for. See, when you make a race car, you don't drive at 55. You put it on the track, there's nothing in the way. And you push the pedal till it go through the bottom if you can, to see how fast what I made can go. And if it fails, they go back, put it back in the shop, and retune it and readjust it. God has made a woman for a task that he is not going to let her get by with. And that's to perform maternal duties. Now, he already knew some of them weren't going to have babies because they couldn't. So how does he make this statement? A maternal duty is to perform that which is associated to love and nurture, like a nurse, to care for, to feed, to plan for, to organize things for. Whether it's your home or someone else's home, and you have to perform that. And if you didn't know that, well, God bless you. Now we all know. And if you should die and you hate to perform those types of duties, there will be a discussion at the judgment that will cease your entrance. See, you and I don't know why God made us until you read in here. And you don't know what he made us for. You can perform and do anything you want that is within the confines of morality as a female. But if you don't perform the maternal duty, let's see what he says at the end. Saved in childbearing. What's the opposite of saved? Lost. We've got brethren now that struggle with the meanings of words. God said, woe in Isaiah to those who make bitter sweet. See, if you make the two words the same, see, God knows that destroys when I speak. Now, you don't know what I'm talking about. That's what the Lord is saying about himself. He said, now watch, now you got to perform maternal duty. If though, see, that is another thing, that's the duty you got to perform. If they continue in faith, so you got to have the one faith. Isn't that beautiful? Ephesians 4, one faith, and charity, which is love, and holiness, and I love this, with sobriety. See, some people can do this, but they're not sober. Say anything, drink anything, smoke anything. Yes, pop anything in the mouth. You know, I'm a good parent, but I like to get my groove on, my party on. So they'll party hard, pay the babysitter, come home after they sober up. Hey, baby, hugging the children. See, you can't live like that and go to heaven. Maternal duties, they're there. But you're not sober. See, that's the difference. It has to be this package. But he did not leave the performance. That's why motherhood must be respected. It is an honorable thing. Sometimes people see mother with children. Sometimes, and they go shopping. They got one kid pushing one basket with two kids in it. And they push another. And people are like, woo, boy, girl, her life is shot. No, your life's shot. Because she got that part right. Now let's see, are you going to perform that part? And you know what the problem is? It's easy to hate the teacher. Because see, you can grab him. That's why they kill the prophets. They kill them. It didn't change anything God said. Isn't that amazing? It doesn't change anything God said. They killed Jesus and the teachers, and he still rose from the dead. Isn't that amazing? Without one soul on the earth believing. There's not one soul that believes on the earth that Jesus rose from the dead. Not one soul made by God's hand. None. And he still rose. Isn't that amazing? See, that's the power of God. It does not need our belief or our teaching. The teaching about God only helps us who are lost see him. Teaching about God is not even going to make it happen. It has nothing to do with it happening. It just informs us it will happen so we can get prepared. Now let's go over back to quickly Proverbs 31. And so therefore, sometimes a person doesn't understand about life is that they'll criticize something. But let me share something with you. You know, a lot of people say like, you know, I'm not having no children until I get married. Well, don't have no sex either. Amen. See, because when you see a girl say she had a child and that held her life up. But let me share something with you. Children are a blessing. Yes. The Lord said about the man, the human being, bless him that has his quiver full, which is the arrow holder. Quiver full, got a house full of kids. So he's blessed. So if you was having sex and you didn't have a baby, you're still not blessed. You're double cursed. Nothing to show. No blessing or nothing. So don't boast. The key is that you have sex when you get married. If you didn't know that, praise the Lord. Now we all know. Amen. And if you don't, believe me, there's a payback that comes. See, we don't understand how sin is paid back. You know why we die? Because you got to go to jail. Got to pay that debt. That's the problem. Who said that, God? Sin entered, after sin committed, death entered. Without sin, there is no death. Everybody got to die. The only group that's not going to die is the group that remains when the Lord comes, and they got to be changed by the Lord into everlasting. See, so you got to be changed as a key. You and I must be changed. You cannot enter in a sinful state. So therefore, we're not dying because God can't make a body last. We're dying because sin destroys this body. That's what he said. Why did he put Jesus, the sins of the world, in Jesus' skin? Brother, you got to get that point. Understand, death don't happen because this body get old. Yeah, it get old because God cursed it, because it's sin. It has sin in it. And it's in the flesh. That's how he saves you. The sin got to go somewhere. It just can't go into oblivion. It goes in your skin. That's why the body has to die or be changed. It has to be destroyed. All flesh will be destroyed. It's all going into the pit of hell. But you and I, our spirits, will be given a new body. 1 Corinthians 15. If we believe that, and I pray you do. Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. One of the things we have to understand is there are some things that are involved that makes her so valuable. Risk her life to birth. So that's the idea. You know, many women die in birthing. Baby live and they die. Sometimes they and the baby will die. Doctors know it's a risk. It isn't just, girl, just have a baby. Grandma had a baby and went pick more cotton. Let me tell you something. It's a whole lot of people can do some phenomenal things, but that's not the average person. And so, gives up many of her pleasures for the children. We're not talking about no husband in this. We're talking about children. This is about a mother, not a wife, a mother. If you don't have no man, you still can be a good mother. It says, verse 3, one of the things we understand is there for her children unto death. The mother will be there for her children unto death. When fathers have given up, I don't want nothing to do with that loser, the mother somehow will find a way to help the child out. If the child wants to change. Sometimes the mother's the last one standing when the dust clears and says, you ready to try again? And see, this idea, where does she get that from, God? Well, she's a Christian or not, is irrelevant. The women are given this in creation. They're able to perform it if taught it. How do we know that a woman has to be taught these things by the church? Let's go quickly over to Titus, because that stuff about women have this already. Not have the ability if they don't have the performance skill, because it has to be taught. That's why we have so many lousy mothers on earth, because somebody's taught that it's just going to happen, but it's not. So let's look, if you will, at Titus chapter 2, verse 1. But speak thou things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave temperate, and sound in faith, and charity, and patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving them much wine, teachers of good things. Here are more qualities that must be possessed by the woman. Now watch, she's going to be teaching. So without having a baby, a woman in the church will be performing maternal duty. She will be nurturing the sisters that are in the church. How do we know? Because it says here that they may teach the young women to be sober. It said, well, you know, my mother left us when we was 3. If you're a member of the church, got a whole bunch of mothers around here. Now, you probably not going to listen to them no more than you will listen to her if she'd stayed. But nevertheless, there will be provided. To love their husbands, to love their children. So look at that. And see, so I thought a mother just knew this. Women's intuition. You don't know how to love no children. No, you don't. Because the Lord says he teaches that. And if you aren't taught that, and no one can teach you better than the church, you will not be a mother performing at the right level. To be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. So this area covers a woman who is married. But it also is the quality that must be in a woman who is not married. And one of the things we have to understand, let's go back to Proverbs 31, is that women get a bad rap all their days if they have a child and they weren't married. Some people in society, and especially in the church, unfortunately, will never forgive them. Like something that they hold over their head forever, which is ridiculous. People can sin and rise back up. And they'll be one of the greatest mothers on the earth, but still get talked about. Well, you know, that's not her husband's baby. So what? And people talk about it forever. If it don't come up, don't even mention. I don't even mention things like that. Unless it come up, I say, well, did you know that's not the child? I had a relative that I did not know the daddy was not the actual, my brother was not the actual father. I didn't find out till I was old man. And then I said, what? I said, you know, I said, no, there's always our family. I don't look at people see if they look alike. I care less what you look like. I mean, and once they said that, it went in left in out the right. I'm through. So what? Now, if you don't want to be around me, that's different. That's your thing, you know. But I'm going to still love you and try to do it if I can do something. But I didn't know because it don't matter to me. They could have kept it forever. But we have to understand something, brethren and listeners, is that when you love someone as a woman, like a mother, you have performed that task out the way. Now, faith, charity, staying sober, that's another word. You have to get that right too. But you can have faith, charity, sober. How can you have faith, charity, being sober, and continuing in these things, and not perform maternal duties? Because some people just don't like nurturing. They're not good nurturers. They're not patient. They're not loving. They're not tender. They're rough. They're coarse and violent. So everybody can't do that. So that's a quality that when you see a mother has, then okay, so well, she got that now, and it should be honored. Her price is far above rubies. Why? Because of what she does. She is trustworthy. The heart of her husband, verse 11 of Proverbs 31, doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. So she's going to watch out for the things that are involved in their goods that they possess. So that's why, see, the price is far above rubies. Beautiful as rubies are, they can't think. Rubies can't make decisions. Ruby can't stop things from going wrong. It doesn't have a brain. So she's far above that. Another idea that we can gather from here is she's focused. Look at verse 12. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. Focus. She's a focused person. You can't be focused going to banqueting. What I mean by banqueting, drinking parties. Chug. You can't be. You know how these young girls doing that, show them on TV and slam it down. Whoa, well, she just young right now. Yeah, but you know the drama you got to go through to get her right? Man, get you another woman. I remember Jeff Johns used to say, man, get them girls like that scriptures, man. Don't get them right them scriptures, man. They need scriptures. I mean, my goodness, man. You talk about, well, everybody used to have a past. Let me tell you something about a past. It's good if you meet them after it is past. Y'all with me? Amen. Amen. It is a life of experiencing going down to the depths of hell when you meet them when they're in that past and it is present. People always want people to show the nonsense. Nonsense, brethren. If you look in the Bible, there is a group that just like Jeroboam, they just for no reason, start putting off foolishness. But there's another group that listens to bad counsel like Rehoboam, that king. There's another group that gets caught up in women like his daddy, Solomon. There's a group that gets caught up in power like David and just say, I'm going to take this woman. I don't care who it is. If the man don't say it's his baby, I'll kill him. So lifestyles are influenced by other lifestyles. David has seen people do that. Say, well, I'm the king. It's like the thought of Uzziah who figured, well, I can go in and light the incense. I make engines. I got people making engines. I'm one of the best warrior kings ever. I'm known. I'm famous. I'm the king. I tell the priests to do their job. So I go in there, light the incense and burn it. So it don't pertain to you, king. And he became a leper and had to stay by himself all the rest of his life. See, that's the idea. We have to understand God's saying a message, stay away from a person like that. And we have to accept in our heart, God will lift you up and encourage you to embrace the motherly duties, maternal duties, whether anybody ever thanks you for it or tells you you're doing a good job. Cause you to embrace it by your love for the work itself. And see, this is why people have to understand it isn't about if you're a Christian. You can perform this duty not being a Christian if you listen to what's being taught. But you can't be saved simply being a good mother. So that's why Paul includes the other areas that must be done, which is faith, sobriety, and so on and so forth, as mentioned in 1 Timothy 2, verse 15 following. And so let's look at this thought here also. So the focus is there. Sacrifice, look at verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night. See, that's, I don't know about some of you. Some of you have to get up early where it was dark when you went to bed and it's dark when you get up. That's what it's talking about. And give it meat for her household and a portion to her maidens. So, she got some other people in that helping out with some duties. So she rises up and make sure everybody got something because she's fixing to go out and do some things. When someone says this woman doesn't exist, it doesn't say she did this every day. See, that's your mind who thinks that. See, you think this every day. It's not every day. She could have done this periodically. I'm going to get some property here. Next month I'm doing something here. See, and you think it's not a real woman. See, God don't teach games. If God is using something that might happen, he can say, what if one of you should? Okay, that's something that, maybe they haven't seen yet and they will. A certain man, see, that's a parable that deals with something realistic. This is a real person who can find a virtuous woman if she didn't exist. This is a nonsense lesson. The whole lesson is silly. You remember who wrote this? This is a part of one of the most wisest books in existence, the Proverbs of Solomon. You don't just write something down. You can't be stupid. So you can't do it. Maybe you don't want to. That's your business. But there's a lot of people that do these duties, and they love to do the duties because it is in their heart to do the duties. By the time you get yourself together and want to apologize to people, they don't want to hear you. See, one of the things about apologies is this. Remember this. If you wait too long, some folks don't want to hear you. Y'all hear me? When you wait too long, some people don't want to hear you. You can get mad at them and say, God, I'm not going to forgive them. They may accept it later, but not now. So you got to move forward. Because sometimes we do take too long to say, I'm sorry. I'm going to act right now. We do take too long sometimes. And we play around. What did Jesus say? Whatever you do, do it quickly. Handle your business, man. Time is running out. Paul says, redeem the time. It's not going to be forever. Look at your body. Just keep looking. Amen. Just keep looking. You can be in your mid-30s and your knee will pop and never played a game of football in your life. Your body just kind of does crazy things. Sometimes children get illness and they're not even in their 20s. Your body has a time limit on it. Some people live long with strong, healthy bodies. They live until the 100s, still outside in the garden planting things. And then one day they just die. They say, oh man, I was just talking, we were drinking coffee the other day. Yeah, well, either you're going to die in good shape and then just die, or you're going to get sick. But you never die for no reason. Y'all hear that? You don't ever say, he died. Well, the doctor don't know, but God knows. Well, I caused the blood to stop flowing for a few minutes, and he died. They'll never find it. Nobody just dies for no reason, saint. The body shuts down because it is full of sin. And inside of it, is the clean thing, the spirit of the man that has been reborn. And we have to hold on to that. So a woman that's in the church that can't perform these duties, it don't matter why we don't want to hear it. Because if a sinner can perform the maternal duties, surely the righteous must be able to do it. And the Lord will hold us accountable for that. And so therefore, this is why it is respected when the motherly duties are performed. So her sacrifice, wisdom and commitment, that's why she's far above rubies. Look at verse 16. She considered the field and bought it with the fruit of her hands. She planted the vineyard. Now this is her reasoning by making her a woman that is far above the price of rubies. Verse 17. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her camel goeth not out by night. She laid the hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. Now, when you look at this, you would say, man, this woman not doing nothing but working and coming home. No, hold on. Look at the rest of the letter. Look at the rest of the letter. See, if her husband is not being done any harm, she's a good wife. Some people think that it take you all day to be a good wife. Just the things you do throughout the day makes you a good wife. You have to go do nothing spectacular. I mean, just be a good wife. Well, the husband knows I can trust her. She's not with no man. She's not hiding no money under the rug, so planning on when she leave me. She's not thinking I'm going to leave her, so she hiding money under the rug. She can be trusted. So that's her wisdom, commitment. She's a servant. Look at verse 20. She stretcheth her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hand to the needy. She's not afraid of the snow. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. She has a servant mentality. And through her service, her acquiring goods, she is not like a rich woman that doesn't care about people. Or a poor woman that don't care about people because I'm broke, you broke, we all broke, forget you. It's not like that. She sees the needy, she hands them something. And so, she has a servant mentality. She treats herself well. Now watch this, see? He thought it's all about them. No. She didn't forget her either. Look at verse 22. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Watch what she wear. Her clothing is silk and purple. Now she step out, she looking clean. Y'all with me? Purple is that's why Lydia had bank. And it was very able to tell the believers in Paul, come and stay in my house. I got a house. Just if you think I'm worthy. After she's baptized and in the faith. When they get out of jail, they go back to her house again. So you can't house a bunch of people like that unless you got some kind of money. And so a seller of purple is a hard color to find to get someone to know how to deal with it. So she looks real nice. So you don't have to go out like you begging for alms on the street just because you're a servant. People think because people are righteous, they have to be broke. This is ridiculous mentality. You can't think like that. And one of the things you have to understand is, brethren, is God has no system of teaching that if you broken on your back, that show you my child. See, he don't teach that. If you rich and money is falling to your pocket, he don't teach that. It is the righteousness within. This is what makes this woman to be respected and to be honored. So she didn't forget about her. She knows how to look nice. She has a good reputation. Look at verse 23. Her husband is known in the gates. When he sitteth among the elders of the land, he is known. Why? That's so-and-so husband. Oh, really? See, he getting his honor and glory because of her. Is that scriptural? Yes. The woman brings glory to the man. In the Corinthian letter, chapter 11. So that's how he getting his glory. That's his wife. Wow. So as Brother Winfrey said, well, our virtuous wives should appreciate and love them, as he told us before he sat down. We need to remember that. Because this man would be a fool not to appreciate this woman if she is bringing him the honor and the glory that he is getting. So he's known because of her. He gives her best. Look at verse 24. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. She gives forth that. She don't bring them junk. gives them the best. That's how she works. In the marketplace, she's known. Say, oh, here she comes. She's got some stuff. Well, I wonder if it's good. Oh, man, all her stuff is right. You ain't got to worry about her. Look through it. You'll see. She can be known as, she's up front in business. She's not a crook. Some women are crooked in business. They're ruthless. Say, boy, she's a cutthroat. Watch her. She'll backstab you. She's one of the ruthless people in the company, And I say, but not this woman. Because this mother is righteous. And this is what we have to understand. And so, another thing she does is she is patient. Verse 25, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She waits. In time to come, she rejoices. She knows, it's not time yet, I'm going to rejoice. Just not yet. They're doing me bad, but my day's coming. So we understand that about this particular woman. Another thing is she speaks with understanding. Look at verse 26. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So when she speaks, she's already surveying, okay, I should say this, but I'm going to say it with kindness. Still going to cut. How do you tell a person the clothing you have on makes you look like a prostitute on ginseng? You say, the clothing that you have on is inappropriate. You can say it as calm as you want. The clothing you have on is like what women of the night wear. Brother Gibson asked for prayer for a person he knows, and he said that they want to be a lady of the night. Now, if you're an adult, you know what that means. You know what that means. So, we need to understand something, brethren. You have to realize this isn't stereotyping. If you got too much flesh out or stuff too short or too low, who do we link you to? Somebody. It isn't a stereotype like because I got my cap on backwards, I'm a gangster. That's stereotyping. But if I can see your underwear and your behind, you're what is called naked, because that's how Isaiah looked when he showed them how the Ethiopians was a great nation, would be overcome by the next person coming in. So he's telling Israel, don't run them, because as powerful as they are as Ethiopians, he going to bring them through here with their butts out. So he let his belt loose and let it, just like the guys that wear sags. So when you see the guys sagging, say, you Isaiah? Are somebody going to take a mirror and have us come through naked? Why are you naked then? See, that's what the word was used, naked. Not fully nude, but nudity. So if you're a girl and you're wearing these pants where your butt is showing, you're doing it intentionally, or if it's accidental, we touch my, hey, pull your pants up, your backside showing. I don't care, can't nobody judge me. You're not this woman. Let me ask you something. You're not this woman. Okay, how many children you got? You're not her. So fix that. You don't have to like me for saying, I'm just telling you. I'm not here to be liked on earth. I'm not here to be liked, and neither should you understand that you are. You're here to serve God. What does Solomon say? The whole duty of man is to be liked. No. The whole duty of man, fear God and keep his commandments. And that's it, summed up. Like, why am I here? To fear God and keep his commandments. Now, so therefore, as we wrap up, she is not lazy. Verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So she's not lazy. Some women are lazy, they don't want to do nothing. I tell you, she go get you a job. I teach your children, you can get you a job, you're out of college, get you a job, Now, I don't know what I want to do. You got to get a job. Nah, I'm a girl. You still got to work. 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 says, if you don't work, neither should you eat. That's not talking about males. Look the word up. That's not a male on it. Sorry. That's not a male on it. That's a human being. Human beings should not work. He should eat. Girls too. What does it tell a 60-year-old woman? 1 Timothy 5. 60-year-old woman whose husband died. Okay, you can be considered to be put on the church roll and be taken care of. If you have no children, grandchildren that can help you. I'm 55. You need to get a job. It will be just that simple. 55, I'm not. You would need to get a job. Now, we'll help you for a minute, but not for good. We got a number in the Bible. How many days in a week? The Bible says 7. Is it 9? It's 7. That's a number. Nobody argues. Man, it's 9 days in a week. No one argues. So you can agree on that number. Well, we can understand. Say, well, I can see 7. I can see 55. So, no, you have to get a job. So if a 55-year-old woman whose husband died, but if you have to get a job, why would anyone younger than that not be working? It's ridiculous, brother. That's why James say don't teach. People hate your guts. That's all right. God will love you to the core and place you in heaven. You know, one of the things that's beautiful about being in heaven is you get there because God loves you. It has nothing to do with what nobody else think about you. Isn't that wonderful? Boy, could you imagine if God judged us on what people think about us? Ooh, I don't think any of us would make it. Because somebody going to be there hating you. If anyone hate this man, say, I hate his guts. All right, you can't get in. Isn't that amazing? It's nothing to do with what people think about you. Isn't that amazing? You know how we know? I taught this lesson before. Shimei hated David's guts. He was of the house of Saul. He knew David had killed Uriah. The story had got out. He knew David got the girl pregnant. He knew it. He knew he should have been stoned. But because God said, I give him mercy, Shimei didn't like it. Threw dust up, cussed him out. David's bad boys that didn't really like God anyway, they wanted to kill him. David said, no, I ain't killing nobody today. And when he got ready to die, he told Solomon, don't let him go to the grave, natural death. I want you to kill him. Use your wisdom, son. Now, you know if David was a sinful for doing that, you think he's going to get to heaven? No, you can't repent of that. You dying. That was what God wanted. Prick David hard. Make sure you tell your son, I want this fool killed before he exits. And he set Shimei up. And he went to get a slave that ran away. They came and told him in the city, Solomon, Shimei left. He held on to the horns of the altar thinking they wasn't going to kill him. Take him out and kill him outside. See, because God has said, you do not judge who I have said. It's okay by me. I don't care what you think, because you're not nobody. I'm the judge, God said. And no matter what they did to you, if I forgave them, tough on you. Man, I like that. See, that caused you to keep going. Sometimes I tell people, no, I repent of that. You can talk about it till you die. It's not going to affect me. See, and that's how David was. That's why David said, don't kill him. But David knew we're going to kill him later. And God will kill us later. We need to understand, let God be God. Let's keep our mouths closed so we all can get to heaven. Now, we got a few more verses left. Blessed with respect of her family. Verse 28. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also. And he praises her. See, even with raggedy children in jail and can't stay out of jail, I had some cousins like that. Boy, couldn't stay out of jail until they got old men. Always there telling, how does so? Oh, you in jail? What again? I said, man, that could have been me. We used to hang out together. I did stuff that should have put me in jail, but thank God he gave me mercy. But nevertheless, even in jail, they'll say, man, my mom's a good person. That's why no matter how hard you are, I had a brother, his brother in the flesh, black. And he told me, he said, when a guy's mother died, he said, we can tell he come back and go to his cell. I'm talking about hardcore criminals, not these little old guys with tickets. He said he go back to his cell, and I'm talking about it, and we know his mom must have died. Somebody died in the park. Leave him alone. He bothered me, gonna act crazy. He gonna whoop everybody in there. They ain't gonna be to kill somebody. Now he on death row. They said let him go. Because see, I don't care how hard you are or how raggedy her life was. At some point, she showed you love, and you remember, man, that's my mother. She's gone, and I'm in jail. I can't go to the funeral. Don't nobody say nothing to me. And everybody learns that. You know, some of you may know some people that have experienced that. So nevertheless, as we wrap this beautiful explanation of motherhood by God, because it's his word, she will be rewarded. This is the key. But the Bible makes sure you and I understand. She excels all women. Listen to me, audience. Who are virtuous in actions, because she is a believer. Now we get into where, man, it's good to be a saint. I've heard a lot of you teach about this, but it sticks out in my mind, Sister Carr. I remember her mentioning that verse, and I was saying, I said, look back at that, I said, yeah, that's a separation. They're all virtuous, good daughters, but this one's a believer. So look at verse 29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. See, this is a believing woman. That's why her attributes are real fine. Now, you're not finding this among the Muslims, because they're not believers. She used to be a virtuous woman, but she won't be a believer. She's going to handle things differently. And so, verse 30 says, favor is deceitful. See, when people like you, it deceives. And beauty is vain. See, I don't care how good you look. If you live to be 75, you're not going to look exactly like you did at 25. See, you may see you 75, about something. She's 75. Man, you lying, that woman, I'm 75. But you don't look like you did when you was 25. That's a little different. So beauty, is empty. Because it does leave. As far as what society says is beautiful. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. See, that's why she says, see, just like a track race. But you see, boy, Usain Bolt, they laugh about him and say, man, he never leaves the pack. That guy's like a machine. And no, he don't do the drug thing. No, they check him all the time. That's hard to believe a guy's that good. He's just that good. But he's sprinting, you see those long legs, then right then he crosses. He's won again. I remember I saw him run, I said, man, I would have never believed that guy would have won that race. He's just incredibly good. The Super Bowl runner of life in that area. And this is how this woman is. Everybody's neck and neck over there, all good, but then she sticks neck out there and she crosses the line. You excel them all because you're a believer. So you have a life after death that'll be good. That's better. Finally, she will be rewarded on earth and in the world to come. She also will be praised by all. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. See, one of the things we have to accept, saints, is that to be a Christian is a step above everything else you can do on the earth. Amen. To the best of your ability. I mean, if it would be a vote taken and said you are the best and all the humans of the world agree, the saint would say, okay, but I'm one step above that performance that you did because I have favor with God. And like David said, God picked me, and I love this, because he liked me. And that means he did not like the other ones out of his brethren like he liked David. You know that makes people mad? See, I've seen some saints so rebellious. They are all but call God a lie. When God says he hates, see, God hates nations. Malachi 1:1-4. God hated Israel, the evil ones. He hated them. Hosea 9:1 and verses 14 and 15. He hated Esau before he was born because he knew what he was going to do. You know how mad that makes people? So that means the minute the baby comes out the womb, God is saying, I hate him and I love Jacob. You understand? But the word also means to love less, but it also means to despise. You know how much he despised them? Their children were like him, the Edomites, and he destroyed their land. Destroyed it. He said, I gave the mountain, I gave the land, I'm taking it. When they laughed at Israel for God whooping them, he said, I'm going to get you for that. Because I don't like you anyway. I know some saints that'll get mad at me. They'll get mad at me for repeating that. I couldn't care less, and nor should you. I would rather be hated and loved by God any day you pick of the week. Because I'm going to say what he said, and I know he'll hate me if I walk contrary. See, but that stuff about God hates the sin, but loves the sinner. See, now, that's going to run into trouble. And when you talk to Malachi go, no, that's wrong. Hosea will go, interesting point, but incorrect. Paul will say, he hated Esau before they got out the womb. That means all his walk on the earth, he was disliked. And so what does David say? Out of my brethren, he picked me because he liked me. What did he say about Saul? I don't like you. I got somebody better than you. We don't think God likes people, and we also don't think God considers someone better than another. So is God a big old liar, or are we just a bunch of crooks and know our performance are so loud that sometimes God can't stand us? And we'll never change, some of us. I pray it's not this on us. I pray it's not nobody listening. But some of us will not get right on the planet God made. And we'll think he loved us. Let me tell you something. God said, if you call bittersweet, woe to you. If love is hate, then there is no hate. There is no love. Paul said, if works is faith, then works is not faith. And faith is not work. He said, well, what? Faith is not faith anymore. And works is not work. He said, we don't know what nothing is. That's why God says, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to get somebody. Woe. When God says woe, that means that there's no help. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. You block the door, you won't let us in. So woe means, you're not getting help from me. It was the Lord saying, I'm not helping you. See, woe is only used by those who are going to be destroyed because the Lord has no remedy for us. Brethren, you know what? There's some damnable heresies, as the Bible talks about, that exist in the kingdom of God. Get them out your heart so you can die in good peace. And you can know God is going to be with me through the valley of the shadow of death as I'm checking out. His rod and his staff will comfort me. That's what David talking about. Out of the shadow of death. I was like, no hope, David. They bring the virgin to him. I don't want no woman. I'm dying. Hey, they don't want your son to be king. Solomon prophet. The last few breaths. Look. Take my ass, that animal. Take Benaiah. Get aboard the crown. Let Benaiah walk by. They already, man. If you just step to Benaiah, you think Secret Service is bad, he will light you up. Benaiah killed many men by himself. So they knew, okay, Solomon the king, forget Adonijah. And the Bible says David took his feet, put them up on the bed, and that's it. I'm out. But he said, God is with me. He said, my house is tore up. Not like that. He said, but he made a covenant with me. Forget Absalom. He made a covenant with me. And that's what you want God to do, make a covenant with you. You sisters, hold your heads up high wherever you at on the earth. If you got a man or if you don't. If you have performed the motherly duties, whether you can bear a child or not. He said, man, I took care of my grandfather for 7 years, you know. Nurtured him, nursed him, fed him, had to clean him sometime. That's motherly duties. It's motherly duties. See, we got to understand that. If you believe that, then let us remember, the duties performed by a mother must be respected by all, even Hollywood. If you're here, you're not a member of the church, recognize God wants you to be a part of the mother of us all, according to the book of Galatians, the New Jerusalem, the church, which came down from heaven, according to the book of Revelation also. How do you get in? You're not going to get in if the sign outside say Mount Hebron Baptist Church, Muslim mosque number one ever, number whatever. You're not getting in being a Hindu, because there is no one God over all these false religions. We need to understand something what the scriptures teach in Acts 19, 1 through 5. They were told about Jesus baptized and still didn't know how to get the Holy Ghost. Didn't understand it. And they were waiting on Jesus, but to come for the first time. Just that little off-centeredness. And you can still find John the Baptist's baptism in the Bible with the statement, it removes sin. Mark 1, verse 4 and 5. But Paul says, John said, get ready for him who will come. And Paul had to break it down to him. You got to be baptized. And in Acts 19:5, they were all baptized. Isn't that amazing? No fighting. No, Paul, go your way. We go our way. Do your thing on your area. We're going to do our thing. God is with us too. He's a good God. No, they knew we lost. You believe that? Now it explains when Jesus said, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved. Mark 16:16. Believes what? He died. He was buried on third day he rose. You know when you're really going to want to taste that? When you get ready to die. Oh my goodness. It's time. You can't confess that. I believe. No. So you got to be baptized. Got to accept it in the heart. Holy Ghost got to see it in the heart. Dip in the water. He dip your spirits, lift you up. You got to add it to the church. And however much time God needs to see you right, you got to do it that long, and then he let you go. So if you didn't get to do that, we'd be alive or gave you false hope. So 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4, Paul says, if you hold on to this by faith, you'll make it in. That statement alone. Because you will want to rise above your dead life all your days. You believe that? Acts 2:38. You know, they could have all got killed for just teaching that message. And the Roman government wouldn't have done nothing. But God put a protection of hedge about them that they would complete this message for as long as he wanted. He told Peter, they're going to kill you when you get old. One day you're going to get, when you can't do nothing for yourself, they're going to get you. But you're going to preach now. And he did. And he preached boldly. And they said, what shall we do? He said, change and be baptized, every one of you, which is everybody there, in the name of Jesus Christ. Got to come out looking like Christ. For the remission of sins, that's how the sins are removed. And you receive to get the Holy Ghost. It says, the promise is unto you, your children, and all that are father, even as many as the Lord our God shall call. With many other words, he testified, he encouraged them. Save yourself, which means everybody in that generation is lost from this untoward, their crooked, perverted generation. They that gladly receive his word were baptized. The same day, 3,000 souls added unto them. And they continue steadfast in the apostles' doctrine, breaking of bread, and in prayers, and the fellowship, which is to walk in the light as Christ is in the light. 1 John chapter 1. It says, and the Lord added to the church daily, Acts 2:47, such should be saved. There were some virtuous women there, I'm sure. Being Jews, virtuous, somewhere in the generation, virtuous, but had not excelled and broke that line like Usain Bolt. Didn't cross over because you got to be a believer. That's what it means by perverted. See, the maternal duties alone can't get you in. That's part of it. And so if you believe that, Acts chapter 8, the eunuch is excited. He's a very intelligent, very powerful man. He's like our U.S. treasurer, the one who signed, put that signature on the money. And he's so good, he's left it all behind. And it belongs to a queen who he works for. And he's down there in Jerusalem. He speaks 2 languages. You know why? Because you got to speak Hebrew to understand the service. He's intelligent, his language and Hebrew. I can barely handle English good. I mean it sincerely. And so therefore, when Philip said, you understand what you read, he didn't go, fool, you know who I am. He just, how can I except some man should guide me? Teaches him. When he get to the water, the eunuch is understood well, except there's a part missing. So what doesn't hinder me be baptized? What's holding me up? Here's water. What's holding me up? See, he's telling Philip, here's water. Philip go, look, here's water. You ready? He says, here's water. What hinders me? If you believe with all your heart, you may. Says, I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Stop the charity and baptizes him. See, when you're teaching, you don't know if the person going to believe. You don't know. Your goal is to teach. It's not to baptize. Your goal is to teach truth. See, our brethren got it wrong. They want to baptize, but some of them can't teach. The goal is to teach. Now, if they want to get baptized, amen. But if you taught it right, you can at least say, praise the Lord. Who's next? So when he see the water, he's excited. Here's the water. He says, I got something else to tell you. If you believe with all your heart, you may. And he does. Paul says, for by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, but the Jew and Gentile bond of faith have all been made to drink into one Spirit. 1 Corinthians 12:13. Have your preacher told you, your pastor, your reverend, your doctor, your father of religion told you baptism don't say, I want you to buckle up, because when you hear this, you got a problem. Like Houston, you got a problem. Your salvation hopes are over after I tell you this. Wherever you thought you were saved, that did they tell you baptism don't say, if they told you baptism don't save, you're not saved, because they're telling you, we don't give it. See, they're letting you know, we don't give the one that's saved. We don't. 1 Peter 3:21, the like figure went to even baptism to also now save us. See, Peter, okay, us. It saves us, because we believers. Not to put in way the filth of flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God. How? By the resurrection of Jesus Christ, shows that this will mean you respond to God, right? And where is he? Verse 22, in heaven, what's his post? God's right hand, he's God's right hand man. What is he over? Everything, angels, authorities, principalities, powers, on earth, in heaven, beneath, wherever. Nah, that's bigger than your preacher. That's bigger than me. So you got something to do. You need to be baptized to be saved, because you're not saved yet. It's not about the water. Somebody, I got dipped in water. They got dipped in water in Acts 19. Remember this, though. Maybe a virtuous woman, but you want to exceed them. Break the rope like Usain Bolt, cross over, and be baptized. And then now you've excelled them all. Remember this. Jesus said to the saints, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. See, he's not talking to the world, the saints. He says, you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and you receive everlasting life. You believe that? The opportunity is yours now. You can be baptized. We can take you there. Take care of that today. You can be safe. You be with the Lord. All the rest of your days, he will now love you like he loved Christ. You know the difference in the love is that God sent his only begotten Son because he loved us. But that's not the love of Christ. Because John 17 says, I pray for them that believe. And you read all the way to the end and he says, and they will have the love that you had for me from the beginning, the foundation of the world. You don't get that love until you get baptized. But that first love, that's the calling. Many are called. Matthew 22, verse 14. But few are chosen. You want to be chosen. Then you get the love. Oh, don't never mix them two together. If that's the case, we already saved like the denominator brother. You saved on when he hit the cross. I'm already saved. I got his blessing. His blood is in me. Okay? You believe that when you get to the jump, the Lord will say, I don't even know you, man. Matthew 21, 7:21. I don't know you. Depart from me, work of iniquity. You don't want that. You're a virtuous woman. Amen. Now let's cross over and get the victory. If you're here, you're a man or woman, you be baptized. And we sit down, you stay standing. If you listen to this message, there's a number on that screen. Call it. It will be returned. I don't care where you live. There's somebody that already loves the Lord, and they are serving and faithful, and they're going to baptize you. And yes, it's going to be a man. And you'll be safe. And then you and them will worship together until one of you leaves this earth. Whatever you need to renew your vows back to the Lord. Do it. Don't play. Don't waste time. Come now, but together we stand and sing Heaven's invitation. Been to Jesus for the cleansing power.
Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in His grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood? In the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments as spotless are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood?